The Oregon legislative session begins today in Salem, and there's big questions along with big objectives. We'll tell you what that is coming up. Plus,
we also have the latest from Washington, D.C. as a partial government shutdown continues. What it will take for the House to pass a funding bill to reopen the government coming up.
And with the Super Bowl just a few days away, could one of this year's top teams be up for sale? We'll look into the claims that the Seahawks will be on the market after the big game. Coming up as your news at sunrise starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Monday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchik. Glad to have you with us. We will get to your forecast in just a second, but first we want to head over to Chris with a traffic alert.
Yeah, big traffic alert, guys. Here, we'll show you the video of this crash that happened in the wee hours of this morning here. You're looking at what appears to be a car carrier and at least one other vehicle with debris strewn all over the road. That is the exit ramp from I-5 north to Interstate 84 eastbound. That ramp has been closed for nearly 2 hours, and as we get you back live now, I can show you the backup that's causing. Again, from our Rose City sky cameras, we look down at that exit ramp. Again, this is one of the busiest interchanges in the state of Oregon. 92,000 cars and trucks pass this way every day. So now that we're getting into the heart of the morning commute, traffic is definitely starting to back up here a little bit. I have no details to share with you at this point from Portland Police. We do have emails and calls out, but at this point, all we can say is that the ramp is closed, has been for about 2 hours, and so all the traffic trying to get over to I-84, you either need to stay on the ramp stay on I-5 north and take the Broadway exit, circle back around, or take 405 and use the Fremont Bridge to get at it that way. Rod, we'll keep you posted.
All right, big headline this morning, Chris. Thank you. Also, if you're traveling northward up to Seattle this morning, you will eventually run into a steady rain drive to the north. Here it is, raining in Astoria locally. Tillamook has been clipped with some traces of rain. Battleground, Clark County now getting a little bit of rain. And Portland seems to be on the southern edge of possibility. So perhaps here in downtown Portland, we also get clipped with some light rain this morning, or the raindrops will hold just north of the Columbia River. So far dry in Vancouver from the springs at the waterfront. Temperatures are well above freezing. Most of us are sitting around 40, 42. To the bus stop we go. Clouds out the door, 49 at noon, 55 with some thinning clouds when the kids get out of school later today. Light wind, including out in the gorge. That's your forecast.
Thank you, Rod. All right, taking a live look at the state capitol in Salem, where this morning the legislative session opens under a cloud of tension and uncertainty. Inside those chambers, lawmakers are bracing for tough decisions as they confront hundreds of millions of dollars in lost funding that could shape the state's future.
Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live now. Thomas, what are lawmakers saying?
yeah, look, guys, of course, that biggest priority is balancing the budget after the federal government slashed $900 million from the state budget. And state lawmakers don't have a whole lot of time to grapple with this change. The short legislative session lasts just 35 days. And lawmakers say these cuts will have an impact that lasts a whole lot longer.
What's worse is that this is going to be a long-term problem. We are looking at cuts to programs like Medicaid and SNAP of about $15 billion over the next 5 to 6 years.
Leaders will also focus on filling a nearly $300 million budget gap in the Department of Transportation. For more than a year now, Democrats and Republicans have clashed over the best ways to support the agency. Democrats have long argued for more funding. Republicans say ODOT already has enough money to accomplish its primary objectives.
I will say that there have been very thoughtful, specific conversations about existing dollars in the Oregon Department of Transportation. These are tough choices.
State government should tighten its belt the same way Oregon families have been forced to do over the last few years.
So look, those are two of the big objectives. Governor Tina Kotek also plans to introduce bills about growing the Oregon economy and adding more affordable housing statewide. But guys, already day one clock's ticking. The end of the legislative session comes up on March 8th. China, Matthew.
Our Thomas Schultz reporting live this morning. Thank you, Thomas. Meantime, we are nearing the halfway point in Washington's legislative session. So here are some major movements so far. The Washington Senate has passed a bill that would prohibit most law enforcement officers, including federal agents, from wearing masks while interacting with the public. The bill heads to the House. And a bill that would lower the legal blood alcohol level has narrowly passed the Senate. The bill would lower the BAC from 0.08 to 0.05. Lawmakers were divided on how this bill will change drunk driving crashes.
It's about changing the culture of driving in our state. I believe that when we pass this legislation and it becomes law, we will not only be safe, but we will feel safe on our roads.
If I thought 0.05 would change the outcome of deaths on the roads, I'd be all over this. But I truly believe that it's not going to do what it's going to do.
Another bill advancing through Olympia is one that would set a threshold for reckless driving charges. This bill would make driving more than 30 miles per hour over the posted speed limit an automatic driving offense. Right now, there is no set speed in the state. Prosecutors and law enforcement officers make that call.
As a partial government shutdown continues, it's not up to the House to pass a funding bill to reopen. It's now up to the House to pass a funding bill to reopen the government.
NBC's Alice Bauer has more on what it will take for the House to pass that funding bill and what could happen if the shutdown continues.
House members returned to an icy Washington today looking to unfreeze funding for large chunks of the government, now in a partial shutdown. House Speaker Mike Johnson predicting passage by tomorrow of a Senate-passed package that fully funds most of the government while splitting off the Department of Homeland Security.
I'm confident that we'll do it at least by Tuesday.
Congress then has 2 weeks to negotiate the immigration enforcement reforms Democrats are demanding, including ending roving ICE patrols and body cameras on all federal immigration officers. Speaker Johnson citing President Trump's border czar.
I think even Tom Homan has acknowledged both of those things are acceptable and what he was intending to do already. So I think we're on the path to get agreement.
The top Democrat in the House underscoring that path must lead to dramatic reform.
The administration can't just talk the talk. They need to walk the walk.
Some leading Democrats urging a no vote on even the short-term package, pressing to repeal a huge spike in funding ICE secured under last year's so-called Big Beautiful Bill.
I just don't see how in good conscience Democrats can vote for continuing ICE funding when they're killing American citizens.
That amid weekend vigils in Minneapolis for 2 people killed by federal immigration officers, Renee Good.
It's been very, very difficult.
And ICU nurse Alex Preddy.
He lived to help others, and that's what he did. And we were so fortunate to know him and have him as a friend.
Reminders of what's at stake as lawmakers look for agreement to reopen the government with key reforms. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
A man is in custody after police say he crashed into a patrol car while getting away from police. It started around 2 Saturday morning at Northeast 148th Avenue and Gleason Street when police saw 21-year-old Jose Herrera driving at a high speed. Police tried to stop him, but he sped away, even running through spike strips. He eventually lost control and hit a patrol car with 2 deputies inside. No one was hurt in the crash.
An investigation is underway for a large house fire in Newburgh. Take a look at this. It happened just before 8 Saturday night along Old Parrot Mountain Road. Firefighters' response was made difficult by a nearly half-mile-long driveway and a lack of nearby fire hydrants. One person was taken to the hospital. The Seattle Seahawks have touched down in California, the final stop on an epic journey that has led them to the grandest stage in football. Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. The moment of truth is now within reach.
The team will enter the Super Bowl on a 9-game winning streak. The last time these 2 teams played didn't go great for the Seahawks, but the Patriots came out on top. But over the weekend, some Seahawks fans went to the airport hours in advance to see them take off.
Lots of driving around trying to see where the entrance is.
It's been a secret this whole time, so we've just been driving around and figuring where the buses are going to be coming in from.
I'm feeling great. I'm with my grandkids and my daughter and son-in-law, and we did it back in 2015. We were here over at 188th, and I'm glad we found the spot.
And a reminder, you can watch the Seahawks go for revenge in Super Bowl 60 right here on KGW. Kickoff is set for 3:30 this Sunday afternoon.
All right, there are multiple reports that the Seahawks will go up for sale right after the big game. ESPN reporting that a sale price is likely to be between $7 and $8 billion. The Wall Street Journal, meantime, reporting that the NFL isn't happy with the Seahawks ownership situation and has pressured Jody Allen to sell. The Seahawks, like the Blazers, are owned by the late Paul Allen's estate and effectively run by his sister Jody. His will and trust requires her to sell both teams and donate the money to charity. The NBA is currently processing the sale of the Blazers. Meantime, a spokesperson for the Allen estate dismissed all of this, saying that the Seahawks are not for sale. They called these reports rumors and speculation, adding its focus right now is winning the Super Bowl.
Well, that would certainly be some big news there. Not a cheap price tag if you want to buy the Seahawks, though, Rod.
Good time to sell, though, right? Especially
No
if they win the
kidding.
Super Bowl.
Yep.
I mean, gimme.
Mm-hmm.
But good news, it goes to charity, as we just learned. All right, take a look at our radar this morning. This is a wet drive up I-5 to Seattle. A wet drive out the Sunset, well, not so much the Sunset, but US 30 up into Astoria as well. I just checked. There's a touch of rain that's been reported in Tillamook. Otherwise, pretty much all of Clatsop County is now reporting some measurable rainfall. So some rain in the Seaside area this morning. Our live camera there. Temperatures here in the valley generally holding at 40 or above. Tigard was at 39, now 40. 45 Happy Valley, 43 out in Troutdale. No wind today. 41 Estacada and also 41 down in Albany. The rain that I showed you is expected to hold on that line and be mainly north of Portland. So Portland's kind of on the southern edge of maybe we get clipped by a touch of rain later this morning. Maybe we don't. Otherwise, we'll see cloudiness thinning to the south. Eugene could hit 60. A partly cloudy day over in Central Oregon as well. Madras 57 at 3 o'clock and mostly sunny in Burns, John Day, and out into Baker City, temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Again, the rain is on that line that I just showed you up towards Seattle. So if we stay dry today, then Portland would be dry all the way through Friday. East winds will start to pick up during the day tomorrow, and then by Wednesday morning, we've got the typical gusts coming out of the gorge. I think there will be some freezing locations in the valley in the coming nights coming up. I've got Portland in the 50s with some cooler air because of that east wind. Rain returns to the forecast this upcoming weekend. Here is Chris McGinnis.
Rod, thanks for that. We start with that big traffic alert on I-5 northbound. You're looking at video of this serious crash scene. It appears to involve a car carrier and at least one other vehicle. You can see debris strewn all over the road as well. That is the exit ramp from I-5 north to Interstate 84. A really busy stretch of our morning commute, obviously going to be majorly impacted now as this crash investigation continues. Guys, unfortunately, I don't have any other details to share at this point. I can just tell you that the ramp has been closed for the better part of 2 hours now. And you can see from our Rose City Sky camera, the traffic is really starting to back up onto the Markham Bridge. So if you're coming up from the south and you typically work your way over to the Banfield, your best solution at this point is to probably take I-405 over the Fremont Bridge and loop back around that way. That, or of course, you can take the Broadway exit, but in any event, you're going to add some extra time to your commute. We are working to get more details on this, and we hope to bring those to you just as soon as we have them.